Dream. Hello, mate. Let's just dive right in, shall we? Let's talk about you calling all my fans the arseler.
Well, it has been kicking off big time over the past 24, 48 hours. Honestly, like, this escalated from just a bit of back and forth, you know, with TommyInnit, with pretty much anyone and everyone, to then suddenly Dream piling on, and then TommyInnit dropping arguably one of the greatest 5-minute videos ever to be posted to the internet. It was actually fantastic to watch. And basically, I'm going to give you a bit of a timeline on how we got to this point, where it all started, how it's escalated to this point, and basically what to expect moving forwards, right? So, let's wind the clocks back a little bit. Let's go back to the 8th of January. Okay, so TommyInnit does a podcast with Miskiff, right? And, you know, the podcast gets released and TommyInnit basically says that Miskiff is arguably one of the most kind of, like, basically the worst person he's ever met, all right? And Miskiff doesn't take too kindly to this. This was put in a Deserto article and, you know, yeah, Miskiff didn't take kindly to this. So he posted this to the internet.
When I was talking to TommyInnit, he was probably one of the most insufferable people that I've ever talked to in my fucking life. When I was sitting there waiting for Masayoshi to pop up, TommyInnit is just standing there like a complete prick and looking like such a jackass. I'm trying to just sit there and wait for Masayoshi. I say hello to him, and he gives me the rudest stare you could ever imagine. I'm like, what is your fucking problem? What the hell did I do to you, you stupid British fuck? So we're just standing there, and I'm like, how you doing? I'm just trying to make small talk with the guy, because the guy's acting like such a jackass, looking at me like I did something wrong to him. It's like, newsflash, bro. Schlatt still messages me, okay? Put your fucking little TommyInnit button up away, little pussy-ass bitch. So I'm looking at this kid. I'm like, I don't even want to talk to you right now, but I might as well make small talk because we're both just clearly standing here, and I don't like you. What's up? And I said some shit. I'm like, how you doing or something? And he gives me the rudest stare back. And I'm like, I fucking hate this kid. But no one's around this poor little fellow at TwitchCon, and he probably lost his mom. So I'm just going to sit here and talk to the kid until Dr. Disrespect shows up and probably gives him a kiss on the cheek. So I'm like, Tommy, how you doing? Like, you know, are you doing well? Like, is things going well? Oh, your friend got canceled? Coincidence. So did mine. We both have friends that got canceled. Very interesting stuff. And he's giving me such rude attitude the entire fucking...
So, yeah, obviously, it wasn't taken particularly well. And then it also goes off on Deserto, claiming that apparently Deserto is posting negative articles about him because he ghosted a podcast invite. So, yeah, that was a thing as well.
Why he said these words. I'm going to look this up. YouTuber TommyInnit slammed Twitch star Miskiff, labeling him the worst person he met during a recent podcast episode. Dexterdo, are you making this article because I didn't respond to you on Twitter when you messaged me 3 times to go on your fucking podcast? Is that why? I literally have DMs with the dude who runs Dexterdo that said, can you come on my podcast? Can you come on my podcast? Can you come on my podcast? Didn't answer. All of a sudden, TommyInnit slams Miskiff as the worst person he's ever met. TommyInnit and Jack Manifold uploaded a new episode on their podcast, Shut Up, I'm Talking, to describe why he said the...
Yeah, so there you go. It all got really heated really quickly, right? And it was just crazy. TommyInnit then retweets in classic TommyInnit fashion, just one sentence. You're just really hard to talk to. That's all he had to say. And that was enough to get a lot of people triggered. One person in particular was XQC, another absolutely enormous Twitch star. Right, so XQC reacted to TommyInnit's diss towards Miskiff, calling it a, quote, overreaction, stating as well that these guys are all cringe. Sorry. So that was obviously, you know, taken as a jab towards TommyInnit as well. So he's decided he's going to pile in on the drama. He's like, I see this. Let me have a bit of that pie because, you know, drama sells, doesn't it? Like, if there's one thing that I've learned, especially over the past, like, couple of months of just running this channel, it's that drama sells. Everybody loves the tea. And, you know, it's just one of the biggest ways to get big on the internet, I suppose. But anyway, TommyInnit then claps back, saying, to be more cringe than TommyInnit is pretty fucking hard, but you pulled it off, pal. Basically tagging in this photo as well of XQC, obviously interviewing Donald Trump, wearing a Donald Trump tee. So, you know, again, another great one-liner from TommyInnit. XQC will not let this one slide. So he posted, from doing streams in my basement to doing streams with the president. How is that a diss? You went from dick riding Dream for a living to making, quote, jokes to teenage girls. Lock in, tagging in this video.
The best ending ever.
And now, as I near towards the end of my set, rather than exiting the stage, I'm going to ascend to heaven. It didn't work. Anyway, thank you. Oh no! Oh no, it's the man that's been paid to hunt me down.
I mean, it was one of the cringest things I've ever seen, but, you know, still funny. XQC having his way. Dream then pops up, just out of nowhere. Like, obviously, you know, there's a lot of history between Dream and TommyInnit. I mean, it's crazy to see because it's like this full circle moment. Without Dream, TommyInnit would not be as big as he was, or is, because, you know, he was part of the Dream SMP, right? That's how he got his name, that's how he got out there. But Dream piles in, quoting in this tweet from XQC, stating, just posting a photo. Dream SMP stands, and it's either you grow up, or you take the path to becoming a Arsler TommyInnit fan, right? And this was enough to trigger TommyInnit, like, just unsurmountably. I don't even know the word, that's how much surmountably, right? And, I mean, before TommyInnit, like, goes in on Dream, he's like, oh, let me just finish off my beef with XQC, saying, no, yeah, you're actually right, man, you are really cool. I mean, obviously, just being very sarcastic there, but then goes in on TommyInnit. Goes in on Dream, basically retweeting the image, saying, like, how dare you call my fans the arsler, like, the audacity of this motherfucker to do this. And then Dream just does probably what is the most Dream thing I've ever seen. He posted on Reddit about it, stating, genuinely still confused about what the rules are, quoting rules. Honestly, not trying to obtuse, multiple people go viral calling me the R word, and everyone explains that it's okay because they're neurodivergent. So then I see a meme that uses it, and I get absolutely throttled for it. Obviously, it's the internet being disingenuous, but that doesn't completely invalidate anyone that might be upset by it. Most of the people calling me ableist for using it are the same people that lit off the fireworks in Nicholas Cantu was the slur-slashing slasher, including Tommy's closest friends. It's either okay or it's not okay. The double standards are infuriating. I have my own reasons for having a problem with Tommy, and going around the quote internet police was expecting to get a lot of shit for going after poor Tommy that lies about me constantly. But obviously I have no intentions of attacking every Dream SMP fan or being ableist laughing my arse off. It was a dig at Tommy fans because somehow the worst of the ex-Dream SMP stands have congregated all to make up lies and shit on other creators. And Tommy feeds right into it, promoting his Patreons, shows, book, or whatever else he's got currently promoting because he has absolutely no backbone. Either way, my lesson from this is that Twitter is somehow even less reasonable than I thought in the first place. Oh, and don't use the R word under any circumstances, even if you see it as a funny meme or you're autistic. Tick. Lesson learned. Hopefully I'll be forgiven. Back to coding. Right, so, I mean, it was kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. It was really weird to see Dream drop this. I mean, unsurprising as well, because this is just how Dream has always dealt with things. Whenever there's any form of controversy, straight to Reddit. Post a thing about it. TommyInnit then retweets this, stating, you can call me anything but do not call me poor, and then tagging in Dream, which is weird because I think he's blocked him on everything. So I mean, and then like in classic TommyInnit fashion, right, this is just the timeline in which things progressed. He's like, I've still got my ongoing beef with XQC, so let me just back it up a second. I'm not finished with you, you little bitch. And he jumps over to Twitter and says, all I had to do was get Trump involved, and he finally cracked, huh? It's funny, man. This whole thing's funny. And then Oh, I'm getting exhausted reading this out. And then Dream shows his messages and literally showing how manipulative he was to Tommy. Right, so here's well, he's just gone full-blown Logan Paul. Logan Paul did this last year, right, if you remember. He put out, like, comments or tweets about DMs that TommyInnit had sent to Logan Paul, basically glazing Logan Paul when he was, like, you know, before they had beef. And then TommyInnit just owned it, and then Logan Paul had nothing to go off of. But Dream's done the same thing, essentially. So, are we even friends, dude? That was sent to Tommy, right? So this is from Dream's POV, apparently. Yeah? Why? What's up, man? Sad face. It just doesn't feel like it. I tried to justify it by you being younger, or you just trying to fit in, or taking character way too far, or whatever. But that doesn't mean anything when it's just repetitive pattern over and over. I hold my tongue out of fear of coming across like an arsehole, because I like to think that I have a very thick skin. But I just feel like shit because of it. I feel like you have been a dick to me on, quote, on accident, or just happened far too many times for me to think that it's, quote, on accident. And it just makes me think that there's a lot more to it. I feel like you have such a dream of what you want your fan base to be, and part of that means shitting on me constantly to cater to the people or despise me for just existing. And that hurts, because I know that I wouldn't do that to any of my... And then the message goes on, but obviously we don't see it. So it's like weird. So the idea of this tweet is people are saying that this is basically Dream somewhat manipulating Tommy in some capacity. Tommy then retweets this and states, I just want very famous YouTubers I like when I was 16 to stop leaking DMs of me being a bit awkward. Is that too much to ask? Right? So, there's another one. Then, out of nowhere, TommyInnit drops arguably one of the greatest 5-minute videos we've ever seen. Alright? And the reason it's, like, so good is there's no, like, fluff. There's no bullshit to try and get it over the 8-minute mark to maximize that sweet, sweet YouTube ad revenue. TommyInnit just drops it, walks away, and he just jumps straight into it as well. And you'll see what I mean in just a moment.
Hello. This video is a message to Dream. If you've been off the internet the past couple days and haven't kept up, basically, if you're one of my subscribers, Dream has called you a slur. So deal with that how you want. Okay, now look, I have Dream blocked on everything, and I intend to keep it that way. So Dream, hello mate, let's just dive right in, shall we? Let's talk about you calling all my fans the arse-slur. You can't throw around the arse-slur, mate. You just can't. My mum worked with adults with disabilities, and since I was 12, I volunteered with her. These are real, fucking amazing people, who I think of like family, who actually get called this slur. And you do not just throw it around. It's impossibly immature and reckless, and sets such a shitty precedent to everyone. Shame on you, man. In your stream you slagged off a lot of my pals. Come on, mate. I mean, my friends are all idiots, but they have bloody good hearts. However, with your group, I cannot believe how the George stuff from a year ago went down. I cannot believe the response to it online. It's disgusting. It's sexist, man. And you and your friends' references and the way you talk about women behind the scenes has been so sexist too. Shame on you guys.
Like, you see what I mean? He just gets straight into it. Like, it's actually hard to get a word in edgeways. Like, he just prepped. He knew exactly. Actually, in fact, I don't even think he prepped for this. I think he just knew what to say, and it just rolled off the tongue. He just hit record, said what he said, stopped recording, uploaded, done. Like, that was all it needed to be as well.
Now, mate, talk about me and you. You've basically spent the past day calling me a dickhead. And look, pal, I have made mistakes, and I'm going to make loads more. But the difference is, I give a shit. I'm trying. I'm putting in effort, and I really care. And I take responsibility when I've fucked up. Dream. 4 years ago, you were awful to me. When I was 16, you gave me YouTube advice, and you held that over my head for years. You didn't treat me like an equal, and you made me feel small.
Which, obviously, when we take it back to the context of the message that was being leaked, allegedly, right, from Dream's phone to TommyInnit, you can kind of see how the manipulation potentially could have played in.
The Dream SMP, a lot of your success just wouldn't have happened without me. Streaming every single night on the server and caring about everything as much as I did. And you made me feel small about that. And I was a kid. Shame on you, man. And you knew what you were doing, because I've watched you do it to other people too. And if you didn't, and that was just an accident, then fucking hell, man. You called me a promoter of all my other projects I do in your Reddit post too. Yeah, man, are you stupid? Of course I promote all this stuff. But the difference between me and you is I actually give a shit. I put effort, my absolute best, into all these new things. I'm going to talk about my brilliant podcast because I'm really proud of it. Or the book I spent months writing. Or comedy. I mean, mate, I've ditched the internet for a year to do the rounds in tiny pubs, to do the stand-up comedy circuit the legitimate way, because of people like you. People who have ruined this space.
Ooh.
And that takes balls. Courage. I'm not just selling USB baby photos or lazily designed merchandise, all right?
This is where it gets spicy. This is just dripping with tea, and this is why I love it.
I'm doing the best with what I have. I'm nearly the age you were when you met me, and if I acted the way you did to a 16-year-old who looks up to you, I'd be so ashamed of myself, man. Now, finally, Dream, mate. You harassed my mum as she was going through a divorce, the worst time of her life. You tried to harm the relationship between me and my mum. And if we weren't best friends, with the shit that you were saying, you probably could have really harmed that, mate. You are like a proper movie villain. I have watched you take advantage of vulnerable people and use them to benefit yourself. I've watched you lie to fans, to me, to people, and take no responsibility afterwards. You are incapable of taking any criticism. You refuse to change anything about yourself. You reframe everything so that you are the victim. 4 years have gone by, and the rest of us have grown, reflected, really tried to better ourselves and learn after going through that incredibly overwhelming experience together. And you've reverted to saying slurs and punching down. It's not just me that feels like this about you either. Most YouTubers do. I'm just very loud about it. I really hope you're not a genuine bad person with a bad heart. But mate, you need to get off the internet now. Go and get some therapy. Spend some time around your loved ones. Go on a walk. Look after yourself. You being an arsehole right now doesn't mean you will be one forever. But fucking hell, man. With great power comes great responsibility. And you just don't ever seem to take responsibility for your actions. Figure your shit out, man. Because how you behave right now is just not going to cut it. Right. Yeah, as I said, I am going on tour, doing my comedy to Australia, the USA, and the UK. So if you want to see me in person making you laugh and giving you some relief from all of this bullshit, then go to TommyInnit.com. I promise you, it's better than all this shit. I also do have a new, very funny book coming out, which seems more appropriate than ever right
now. I think people have right, this is where the internet got divided, right? Because I thought the video was fantastic. Obviously, he's already said he is just going to promote regardless of the situation, which, fair play. You know, if I was in TommyInnit's position and I was preaching to well over 2.6 million people in the space of a day, I probably would do the same. But people have been like, the whole promotion bit at the end literally undoes a lot of the... a lot of what he said within the video. And I think, to a degree, I understand where it's coming from. But part of me is like, well, he knows this video is going to bang. He knows this is going to do incredibly well. And, you know, it's basically seizing an opportunity, in my opinion. I don't see too much wrong with it, but I can understand how people might get turned off by it. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on all of this crazy drama down in the comments below. Where you down there? Jump scare the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.